it. And now you gotta get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. What's happening, Postal family? A little concerned, a little worried? No need to be worried. Let's be clear. I am reading an article that is constructed by the information that Mr. DeJoy has already put out. This article will not be in the video description on this video for a specific reason. I am not a gaslighter, nor am I one to sit here and try to answer 1 million questions in regards to this article. Please allow me to explain the article as I break it down, because reading an article without context in the past has shown me it only leads to more questions. Please understand that. Now let's continue. First and foremost, if you didn't know, this cup is available if you go to the video description below. You're like, man, I don't want a damn cup. Get a cup. Get a cup. It's a fellow postal worker. She be hooking these things up. She's made quite a few right now, going all over the country. People are very satisfied. If you have not already checked out Miss K's channel, remember I said this, Miss K's channel, you need to go over to her channel and subscribe, because some of this information may just happen to be on her channel. Hint, hint, it may be the information you're looking for. Also, I have another person that I am trying to get out there to answer more questions for you. His name is Mr. Rico, distribution clerk. You always have CCA Nick. Now you got a distribution clerk. Now you got a mail handler that's putting out information. So I'm thinking I'm covering all the bases so far. With that being said, you didn't come here for all this extra stuff. You want to know about this article. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start reading, then give context. If I don't give context, people are going to lose their mind. One of the main criteria, perhaps the main criterion for identifying which post offices will have their carriers relocated in the distance between S&DC and the post office. If it's too far, too much time and expensive into just getting a carrier from the S&DC to the first stop on the route. The Postal Service says a 30-minute drive is the maximum reach, since nearly all potential S&DCs are in the urban and suburban areas. This distance limitation virtually guarantees that the impacted post offices will also be in urban and suburban areas. The post offices in rural areas are just too far afield. Let's break this down. Again, if you guys know the concept of how an Amazon hub is run, a UPS hub is run, or any other distribution facility is run, 95% of the time they have one central location. At this central location, they dispatch to all areas. Now, take that for the carriers. UPS, they have one certain location that all their little box vans, they work out of, and they distribute to all the areas. UPS still has local stores. They do. Same concept with FedEx. They have local stores. Why would they do this? It's obviously more cost effective. Let's be clear. I never once said that we are losing jobs. Never once said we are losing jobs. What I did say was he was eliminating positions. There's a bigger scope at the end of this. Now, if you haven't read or any of the articles that I have put out before in all of the other videos where I'm reading, maybe it's time that you actually go back and read them. Because for everybody that's asking these questions, it's in those articles. This individual is just taking those articles and putting it all together for us to have a better understanding, kind of like I do with my channel. I get information, I read it, and I break it down for you. So just remember, I just spoke about this same stuff in an article not even 2 weeks ago. Let's continue. The Postal Service has provided very few details about the plan. Management is apparently trying to manage the concerns of employees and the public by withholding information. That's messed up. I don't need to break that down. What we do know is that 100,000 carrier routes will be relocated from 6,000 or 7,000 post offices to several hundred S&DCs in current facilities in the 70 new mega plants. The plan was described in a presentation dated July 29th, 2022. Go look it up for yourself. And a list dated August 12, 2022 informed employee associations of the first 200 post offices where conversions will take place. The Postal Service has said nothing more about which post offices could be impacted. On July 29th, presentation describes the new delivery network in terms of hubs, the sort of delivery centers and spokes. They call them spokes. The post office that will lose their carriers. One of the questions many people will like to see answered is simply this: which post offices could become spokes? What does this mean? See, this is why I need to read this to you. A spoke would be a smaller location. Let's say you have 4 post offices in one central area that's run underneath one postmaster. They're smaller ones. They got one that's closer to one area, one that's carriers know about this, and distribution clerks know about this. So if they have 4 of them, and there's usually one that's huge. Typically the one that people work out of on Amazon Sunday. Think about that. That one usually has more space to hold more carriers. That's considered a spoke. Why are they not telling everybody? Because they don't want to, number 1, gaslight, number 2, have people go into a panic or frenzy, and number 3, because they don't have the full setup available for the public yet. Again, my thing is to provide you with information so that you can prepare yourself mentally for things that are going to change. Not eliminate your position, things that are gonna change. Change is key. Everybody complained about the way the post office ran before. Remember this? For the last 3 years, all we did was complain about, oh, management is this. Oh, my coworkers are that. This is bad. That's bad. This is horrible. That's horrible. But all of a sudden, when they start implementing change that you don't care for, it's a big problem? No, let it play out. Let it play out. I've been saying for a while that I was never a fan of DeJoy, but DeJoy is a logistics genius. So he has an idea on how to try to make this better. Let's go to carriers, for instance. Carriers complain about those little putt-putts that they drive around in. Now we have all these electric vehicles that they are buying. Think about that. Look at those ugly vehicles that are in one of my videos. Think about that. They're huge compared to the LLV. It's just one piece of a big puzzle that's starting to come to fruition. So now when you have, and they have AC, everybody complained about AC. Now you have AC and you're still complaining? Let's continue. Remember the people that don't show up? Distribution clerks, when you're saying, I showed up to work this morning at 2 a.m., but the other 2 clerks didn't show up, and now it's just me throwing all the parcels by myself. Remember that? Remember all those complaints? You're not going to have those complaints anymore because you know who's going to be there? The machine. The machine, all it has to do is push a button to turn it on. Let's not look at things half empty, people. Everybody complains. It's just me doing all the labor. It's just me. I don't like the way the truck is late. This is that. All these issues are being answered with technology. The same technology that people loved, but they don't love it when they feel like it's going to replace the work that they don't do already. With the help of publicity, available USPS facility lists, Google Maps, and some data crunching, it is possible to build a model that helps answer this question. This is what you guys wanted. Here's a map showing 6,100 post offices that could become spoke facilities. If you zoom in, you can see the post office in the clusters around the potential S&DC hubs. The list of spoke post offices in Google Docs here, where it can be searched, sorted, filtered, and downloaded for future analysis. This is just an analysis. The list of potential S&DC hubs is here. This is where we stop. The remainder of this article will be on Miss K's channel. I will read the remainder of this article and I will post this article on Miss K's channel. If you made it this far, hopefully you did. Now you need to go over to Miss K's channel and go get the remainder of this information. It may not be posted the same day that this video was posted, but it will be available eventually. Why are you doing this, Jay? Because people cannot absorb this type of information in one shot. You can't. You're going to come on my channel and you're going to ask a million questions that I said in the video already. You're going to read the article and you're going to be like, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? And I cannot answer every single question. I can give you context as I read what's in this article. Now, for those that are saying this is not happening or this is a farce, please go back and read the articles that I spoke to you guys about in govexec.com. This came out of DeJoy's mouth. I said it before. He was going to eliminate positions. Positions, not jobs. With that being said, this is JH. And we out.